This very light paper turtle has a very light wooden frame. It was found in a thrift store and looks like it was meant to fly, although there are no signs of cords. The design breathes Asian. What is it? This does kind of resemble those flat-packed pop-up kites. Many traditional Asian kites, especially those sold as souvenirs or for children, are made from silk or paper, stretched over a lightweight bamboo or wooden frame. They are often designed to be collapsed or folded flat for easy packaging and transport. When you're ready to fly it, you pop it up into its 3D shape. The design, with its animal theme, a turtle, and lightweight materials, is very characteristic of this style of kite. It's just missing its flying line. A big thank you to our viewer James, who sent this mystery in for all of us to solve. He unearthed this intriguing non-ferrous metal object while out metal detecting. It has an ornate, circular shape with a pointed extension, but its purpose is a complete puzzle, as even Google Lens couldn't identify it. So, we are turning this one over to you, our brilliant community of detectives. Could it be a piece of antique hardware, a tool, or part of a decorative item? Take a close look and let us know your best theories in the comments below. James is counting on you. Bought at a flea market, this black plastic, possibly Bakelite audio device is a mystery. The buyer's partner, who is into audio stuff, has no idea what it is. What is this vintage audio device? This is a transistor radio. A Google search for Toyo Denki Seizo KK7 reveals this exact model in a now-defunct ad, and many similar Fujidenki radios. Toyo Denki Seizo was a Japanese manufacturer. This is a very early pocket-sized transistor radio, likely from the late 1950s or early 1960s. The introduction of the transistor revolutionized electronics, allowing for the creation of small, portable devices like this. It's a wonderful piece of early consumer electronics history. Found under about 4 inches of grass and soil when working on a pool, the scooper part seems to be broken off something. It's made of metal, probably steel. The first thought was an ice cream scooper. What is it? This looks like the handle from the backwash valve of a swimming pool filter system. A pool filter, especially a sand or diatomaceous earth (DE) filter, needs to be periodically cleaned by backwashing, which involves reversing the flow of water through the filter. This is done by turning a large multi-port valve. This handle would attach to the top of that valve, providing the leverage needed to turn it to the backwash, rinse, and filter positions. The broken part would be where it connects to the valve stem. This strange 12-panel glass-fronted cabinet has a chimney and an old, rusty metal contraption inside. It opens vertically with 2 handles. The top seems to be tin. The internal mechanism includes a rotating tube and a pivoting vertical pole. What is it? The overall construction of this thing makes the commenter think it is an early fume cupboard from a chemistry lab. A fume cupboard, or fume hood, is a ventilated enclosure used to protect lab workers from hazardous fumes or vapors. This antique version has many of the key features: a glass front, sash, that can be raised and locked at different heights, and a chimney at the top to vent the fumes to the outside. The rusty metal contraption inside is likely part of an old apparatus for an experiment that would have been conducted within the safety of the fume hood. This metal, hinged, hatch-like contraption with chains was found by a small pond. It's about 3 feet and doesn't seem to be a hatch for any sort of hole. What is it? This is a mower deck that would be mounted to the back or underneath a small tractor, specifically a type of finish or grooming mower. The main housing covers the rotating blades. The hinged hatch part at the back is often a discharge chute or a cover for mulching. The chains are likely part of the mounting system or are drag chains that help to evenly distribute the cut grass clippings. Its discovery near a pond is fitting, as these are used for mowing large lawns and fields. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit like and subscribe. Your support genuinely helps YouTube's algorithm find more curious explorers like you. Thank you for helping us grow. Stay curious. This small black plastic non-movable cylinder was found loose under the passenger seat of a wife's 2016 Suzuki Swift. Any ideas? This is a protective cover for a hair styler, such as a hair straightener, flat iron, or a curling iron. These heated styling tools often come with a heat-resistant plastic or silicone cover that can be slipped over the hot plates or barrel immediately after use. This allows the tool to be stored away safely while it is still cooling down, protecting surfaces from heat damage and protecting the tool itself from scratches. It likely fell off the hair styler and rolled under the car seat. While cleaning a plaza after a party, these were found. They seem to be almost entirely glass, very light, with a bluish coloring. They have a hollow cavity inside and a metallic bar inside. The finder dropped them a couple of times, and they were relatively sturdy. What are they? These are used disposable tattoo needles and tubes. A modern tattoo machine uses a needle that is attached to a needle bar, the metallic bar. This assembly moves up and down inside a disposable plastic or glass-like tube, which has a tip at the end. The tube serves as a handle for the artist and a reservoir for the ink. After a single use, the entire needle, bar, and tube assembly is considered a biohazard and must be disposed of safely in a sharps container. Finding them discarded in a public plaza is a serious health hazard. Discovered while gardening in southern France, this is a seemingly metallic, roughly fist-sized, spherical, but uneven object. It has a fuse-like lid structure at the top. ChatGPT thinks it could be an old Napoleonic-era hand grenade. Is this correct, and is it dangerous? When in doubt, assume it is unexploded ordnance, UXO, and have an expert look at it. The identification of this as a possible Napoleonic-era hand grenade is very plausible. Early hand grenades were simple, hollow, cast-iron spheres filled with gunpowder, with a hole at the top for a simple friction or burning fuse. Finding one while gardening in southern France, a region with a long history of military conflict, is not unheard of. The crucial advice is to not handle it and to keep a safe distance. Any object that resembles old ammunition or an explosive device should be immediately reported to the local police or a bomb disposal unit for professional and safe identification and removal. This is a small, flexible rubber tube. It was found in a bathroom in an apartment, though a cat may have moved it from elsewhere. It's hollow, with an opening on one end and a rounded point on the other. What is it? This looks like a rubber casing or cover for something, like those rubber-coated hooks that you screw into the wall. Many utility hooks or tool hangers are made of a metal core that is dipped in a soft, non-slip rubber or vinyl coating. This protects the item being hung from being scratched and provides a better grip. It's possible the metal hook part has broken off, or this is just a spare rubber cover that was never used. This hexagonal stick, 3.75 inches, has a turquoise plastic barrel and two light yellow painted brass ends. What is it? That is a stylus, but it's missing its rubber tip. A stylus is a pen-like instrument used for interacting with touch screens, especially older resistive touch screens found on PDAs, Nintendo DS consoles, or early smartphones. The hexagonal barrel and brass ends are the body of the stylus, but the functional part, the small soft rubber or plastic nib that actually touches the screen without scratching it, has broken off or been lost. It is an incomplete but recognizable piece of old tech accessory. This handheld tool is similar in size to a long screwdriver and has a springy bent angle and a hex driver head. It was found in a drawer of old tools. Google Lens thought it was an O-ring extractor, but the hex end is wrong for that. What is it? This is a carburetor adjusting tool, used for tuning the idle mixture or speed screws on an automotive carburetor. Specifically, it is believed to be for a mid-1980s GM carburetor. The adjustment screws on these carburetors were often located in hard-to-reach places. This tool, with its long shaft, flexible or springy angle, and specific hex driver head, was designed to reach down past other engine components and engage with those recessed needle valve adjustment screws, allowing a mechanic to fine-tune the carburetor's performance. Received as a wedding gift, this item came in one box, but as two separate pieces. The larger piece is about a foot tall, very heavy, and has a hook inside. The smaller circular piece does not fit on the bottom of the larger piece. There were no instructions. What is this? This is a gong bell or a wind chime. The larger, heavy, bell-shaped part is the main resonance chamber. The smaller circular piece is the wind catcher or sail. A clapper would be suspended from the hook inside the bell, and the wind catcher would be hung from the bottom of the clapper by a string. When the wind catches the sail, it moves, causing the clapper to strike the inside of the bell, producing a deep, resonant tone. The two main pieces were likely just packaged separately for shipping to prevent damage. The model might be similar to the one in the provided link. This is a slider control in a metal case designed to be strapped to something round, like a microphone. It has a single 6-pin locking cable, the kind seen on pro audio gear. The finder wonders if it's a level controller for a microphone or maybe for photo lighting. What is it? This is identified as a PSC, Professional Sound Corporation, boom-mounted fader controller. In film and video production, the sound mixer often needs to adjust the level of a microphone that is mounted on a long boom pole, held by a boom operator. This small, lightweight fader allows the boom operator themselves to make fine adjustments to the microphone's gain or level right at the pole, without having to communicate back to the sound mixer. It would be strapped to the boom pole, and the 6-pin cable would connect it to a portable mixer like the PSC Alpha Mix. This red plastic half circle was found in a kitchen after moving. It is likely from IKEA. What is it? This red plastic half circle is a safety component from an IKEA Frydans blackout roller blind or a similar IKEA blind. These blinds are cordless for child safety. This red piece is a temporary stop or a setting tool used during the installation process to set the tension of the internal spring mechanism that allows the blind to retract smoothly. Once the blind is correctly installed and tensioned, this piece is removed. It was likely left over after the previous tenants installed the blinds. This gray, heavy, pyramid-shaped object is 2 inches tall with a rectangular base and a hole at the top. It was found submerged in a creek bed. What is it? This is a lead sinker used for fishing. Sinkers are weights that are attached to a fishing line to help the bait sink to the desired depth and to provide weight for casting. The pyramid shape is a very popular design, especially for fishing in rivers or currents, as its flat sides help it to grip the bottom and resist being rolled around by the water. The hole at the top is where the fishing line or a swivel would be attached. They are often made of lead, which is very dense and heavy for its size. Found at an antique shop, this has a metal bottom and a small fabric cushion on top. It's slightly heavy, like cast iron. What is it? This could just be a decorative pin cushion. Pin cushions are used by seamstresses and tailors to store sewing pins and needles. While many are simple fabric pillows, in the Victorian era and early 20th century, very ornate versions were common. These often had a heavy base made of cast iron, brass, or even silver, sometimes in the shape of an animal or another decorative form. The heavy base made them stable and kept them from being easily knocked off a sewing table. The fabric cushion on top is where the pins would be stuck. This rubber ring with holes was found in a Beko dishwasher. The finder doesn't know if it's part of the dishwasher or not. What is it? This is the seal from the paddle of a Tefal Actifry. An Actifry is a popular type of low-fat fryer that uses a rotating paddle to gently stir the food while it is being cooked with hot air. The removable paddle has a silicone or rubber seal around its edge to provide a good fit and to help scrape the cooking pan. This seal is removable for easy cleaning, and it's very common for it to be placed in the dishwasher, where it can sometimes get dislodged and end up in the bottom of the machine, like this one. What is this button on a Revlon hairdryer? The exact model is unknown. The commenter has a Conair hairdryer with a button in the same place, and on their model, it is for retracting the power cord. Many hairdryers have a feature where the cord can be retracted into the handle for neat storage. This button would release a lock on a spring-loaded reel inside the handle, causing the cord to be quickly pulled in. The commenter notes that on their old hairdryer, The spring is mostly worn out, a common failure for this feature over time. It is a cord retract button. Found on the side of the road amongst some gravel near a bus stop, this metal object is 3 inches wide by 8 inches high. What is this heavy-duty engine component? This is identified as a very, very old piston rod, more accurately, a piston and connecting rod assembly from an internal combustion engine. The piston is the cylindrical part that moves up and down inside the engine cylinder. The connecting rod is the arm that connects the piston to the crankshaft. This is a fundamental and very robust component from a large engine, possibly from a truck, a bus, or an old piece of industrial equipment. It likely fell off a truck that was hauling scrap metal or engine parts. This is a 14mm hex head object with a body about an inch long. It's all plastic, and the fins are kind of stiff. It was found in a driveway. What is it from? This looks like one of the plastic plugs that are used to stop moisture and debris from getting into new or remanufactured auto parts during shipping and storage. Components like alternators, power steering pumps, brake calipers, or transmissions have threaded ports where hoses and lines connect. To keep the insides clean before installation, the manufacturer will insert these brightly colored plastic plugs into all the openings. It was likely from a part that was recently installed on a car in the driveway, and the mechanic accidentally dropped or forgot to throw away the plug. We just moved into a house, and several rooms have this 2-inch-ish threaded hole cover. The inside is threaded, but there is no central vacuum system in the house. What are they? This might be half of a wall eye through wall port, possibly used for passing an Ethernet or coaxial cable through a wall. The wall eye is a system of 2 threaded tubes that screw together from opposite sides of a wall, creating a neat, finished-looking pass-through port. It seems a previous resident may have used just one half of the system, installing it to run a wire into the wall cavity rather than all the way through, perhaps to route cables to a different location. They have left the cosmetic, wall-side half of the port behind. Found among a late grandfather's things, this metal tube screws open. Inside, there's a smaller, knurled rod that can be screwed into the tube in 2 different ways. It doesn't stick to magnets. What is it? It's a dog whistle, and the commenter has almost the exact same one. This is a type of adjustable, high-frequency whistle. By screwing the knurled rod in or out, the user can change the length of the resonating chamber, which alters the frequency of the sound it produces. Many of these whistles are designed to operate in the ultrasonic range, which is audible to dogs, but largely inaudible to humans. They are used in dog training to give commands over a distance without shouting. The adjustable frequency allows a trainer to find a pitch that a specific dog responds to best. This plastic cap is on top of a pole sticking out about 10 feet from a neighbor's house roof. What is this? This is a personal weather station, PWS, and it looks like a model from the brand EcoWit or a similar company. These all-in-one sensor suites are popular with weather hobbyists. They contain multiple sensors in one unit to measure various weather conditions, such as wind speed and direction, with an anemometer and wind vane, rainfall with a rain gauge, temperature, humidity, and barometric pressure. The data is then transmitted wirelessly to an indoor display console or uploaded to the internet. The pole is to mount it high up, clear of obstructions. Found in Torino, Italy, what are these metal decorative things that restrict the width of a car park entry? What is their purpose? These are called chasseroux, French for wheel chasers, or boutereaux, and they are a traditional architectural feature. They are designed to keep the wheels of horse-drawn carriages and later automobiles away from the corners of doorways, archways, and building walls as they pass through. The curved or angled stone or metal guard would push the wheel away from the corner, preventing the hub of the wheel from striking and damaging the stonework or the vehicle. They are a classic and functional piece of defensive architecture found in many old European cities. About 15 of these were seen at a time on Route 59 in the suburbs near Chicago, IL. Inside the front cabin were soldiers in full tactical gear, including helmets. The trucks had no license plates. What are these military vehicles? These are Improved Ribbon Bridge, IRB, trucks. The IRB is a modern, mobile, floating bridge system used by military engineering units to quickly create a bridge or a ferry raft over a river or other water obstacle. The large flatbed section of the truck carries a folded section of the bridge, known as a bay. These trucks can drive directly into the water, and hydraulic systems unfold the bridge sections, which are then connected together to form a continuous bridge capable of supporting heavy vehicles like tanks. You were likely seeing a National Guard unit on a drill, practicing the deployment of this impressive piece of military engineering equipment. A kid found this plastic thing somewhere in the house but can't remember where. Reverse image search suggests a pipe clamp or part of an elliptical machine, neither of which are in the house. What is this? The mystery is solved. This is a set of plastic tongs from a Toy Time BBQ Grill Kids Play kitchen set. It is a small plastic accessory that comes with a children's toy barbecue grill. The shape, which might seem strange on its own, is perfectly suited for a child to pretend to flip toy hamburgers or hot dogs on their play grill. It's a common occurrence in a house with kids for small toy parts to get separated from the main playset and turn up in the most unexpected places. This metal rod has a cap over what seems to be a plug-in. The threaded top looks like it would screw into something. It was in a return box. The finder thinks it's a thermocouple. What is it? This is a tube to install a thermocouple in a pressure vessel, also known as a thermowell. A thermocouple is a temperature sensor, but its own delicate probe might not be strong enough to withstand the high pressure inside a tank or pipe. A thermowell is a strong, closed-ended tube that is permanently threaded into the vessel. The thermocouple is then inserted into the thermowell. This allows the thermocouple to measure the temperature of the fluid inside, while being protected from the pressure and corrosive effects of that fluid. It also allows the thermocouple to be replaced without having to shut down and drain the entire system. This lens-shaped, glass-looking item is embedded in a curb. It's about 3 inches in diameter and says M2 on it. What is it for? This is a curb marker, and it's pretty sure to be metal, not glass. These markers are used to indicate the location of some underground utility, a property boundary line, an easement, or a survey point. The commenter correctly notes that a survey pin is usually a specific point, not a 3-inch wide disc. This is more likely a general location marker, perhaps for a water valve or a sewer cleanout, placed by a utility company or the municipality. The M2 would be a specific code or identifier used by the entity that installed it. A small piece of black mesh, about 1 inch in size, was found near an HVAC register. It's soft and fabric-like. The finder is concerned it could indicate a pest problem after recent storm damage. What is it? This is a piece of the kind of mesh strap used to hold HVAC ducts in place. The large, flexible ducts that run through an attic or crawl space are often supported by wide, strong, woven mesh straps that are slung underneath them and attached to the ceiling joists. Over time, or if disturbed during work, like storm damage repairs, the ends of these straps can fray. A small piece could then have been drawn into the ductwork through a leaky seam and been blown out through the register. It's a piece of the duct support system, not a sign of pests. This hard plastic, kind of heavy object appeared on the living room floor. The lined part is grippy rubber. The finder thinks it might be something from their young kids. What is it? These are the rubber feet from a piece of furniture, most likely a step stool. Many household items like step stools, small ladders, or even some small tables and appliances have rubber feet on the bottom of their legs. These feet serve 2 crucial purposes. The grippy rubber provides traction and prevents the item from slipping on a smooth floor, and they also protect the floor surface from being scratched. These feet can sometimes come loose and fall out, especially from a well-used item like a child's step stool. Found while metal detecting at an old home in New England, this aluminum piece appears to show a Pegasus and has random numbers on it. What is this? This is a Reader's Digest sweepstakes token. For many years, Reader's Digest ran massive, highly publicized sweepstakes promotions through direct mail. These mailings often included a sheet of small punch-out tokens or keys, sometimes made of plastic or foil-coated cardboard like this one. The recipient was instructed to place a specific token, identified by its number or symbol, like the Pegasus, onto an entry form to claim their winning prize number. It is a classic piece of marketing ephemera from the late 20th century. This 301-inch piece of thin silver metal was found in a garbage disposal that is never used. One end appears to have snapped off. What could it be from? The commenter feels like this is a cheap cheese knife. Many inexpensive sets of cheese spreaders or knives consist of a decorative handle, made of plastic, wood, or ceramic, into which a small metal blade or spreader is inserted and glued. This found piece, with its made in China part, is the blade itself. The small part, or tang, has snapped off from inside the handle, which has been lost. It's the functional part of a very common and often low-quality piece of serveware. This gray plastic handle with a hole was found behind a washing machine. It's a 5-centimeter plastic thing with a handle and a round cylinder with a hole going through it. The finder couldn't figure out where it's missing from. This looks a lot like the handle for a shutoff valve, specifically a ball valve. Ball valves are commonly used for water or gas lines and are operated by a quarter-turn handle. This plastic handle would fit over the metal stem of the valve. Usually, these handles are color-coded, red for hot, blue for cold, but gray ones exist, or this might be a replacement. It could be the handle from the water supply valve for the washing machine, which may have been removed or broken off. Behind a funeral home, there are pallets stacked with these whitish plastic objects, approximately 3 feet wide by 6 feet long and of various thicknesses. What are they? These look like components for plastic burial vaults, or perhaps plastic caskets themselves. A burial vault is a sealed outer container that a casket is placed into in the ground. Its purpose is to protect the casket and to prevent the ground from subsiding over the grave. Some modern burial vaults, like the Maximus burial vault mentioned, are made from durable, non-biodegradable plastic and can be assembled from modular pieces like these. They offer a lighter and often less expensive alternative to traditional concrete burial vaults. This black plastic device, with a very sharp metal protrusion, was found in an Ohio driveway. What is this specific cleaning tool? This is the groove cleaner component from a MaxFly golf club cleaning brush. Golf club brushes are multi-function tools used to clean the grooves on the face of an iron or wedge. They usually have nylon bristles for general cleaning and wire bristles for tougher dirt. This specific component is a sharp, pointed metal spike that is designed to retract into or fold out of the brush handle. It is used to scrape out packed dirt, sand, and grass from the score lines, grooves, of the club face, which is essential for maintaining spin and control. It's not supposed to fall out, but on cheaper tools, it can. Small white balls were found in the backyard. They are difficult to break open, and the finder thinks their kid ate one and threw up. It's not a BB or airsoft pellet. Inside, it was hollow, but looked kind of like a popcorn kernel. What are they? This is pretty sure to be a limestone pellet. Pelletized limestone is used in agriculture and lawn care to adjust the pH of acidic soils, a process called liming. The powdered limestone is formed into small, hard pellets to make it easy to spread with a standard fertilizer spreader. The commenter suggests a simple test. Put one in vinegar. Since limestone is calcium carbonate, it will fizz and dissolve when exposed to the acid in the vinegar. This would confirm its identity and also confirm that, while not meant for consumption, it is a common soil amendment and generally non-toxic. This chair thing is wood, small adult or child-sized, and was found at the plantation house by Gaylords in Hawaii. What is this specific piece of furniture? This is a telephone bench or a telephone desk. This was a very common piece of furniture from the mid-20th century, from the era when telephones were landlines and were a stationary object in a home, usually in the hallway or a living room. The piece of furniture combined a small seat for one person with a small table or surface next to it. The table was for placing the telephone on and often had a small drawer or a shelf underneath for storing a phone book. It was a dedicated spot for making and receiving phone calls. A pack of mostly black strips of paper was found in an office. What are they? They kind of look like the paper bands that restaurants use to wrap around rolled silverware. After washing, restaurant staff will often roll a set of silverware, a knife, fork, and spoon, into a paper or cloth napkin. To keep the bundle neat and hygienic, a small paper band, often with a self-adhesive tab, is then wrapped around the middle of the roll. These bands are a common restaurant supply item, and a pack of them could have ended up in an office for any number of reasons. Found in the Swiss Alps, not near any footpaths and next to a small mountain river, this is a heavy metal object with prongs. It looks like some type of military device. What is it? You need to contact the local bomb squad Josh EOD organization. This is identified as anti-tank ordnance, possibly a shaped charge warhead or a similar projectile. The Swiss Alps are heavily fortified and have been used for military training for centuries. This is an extremely dangerous piece of unexploded ordnance, UXO. The prongs or standoff at the front are characteristic of some high-explosive anti-tank heat rounds designed to detonate the warhead at the optimal distance from the armor to maximize its penetrating effect. It should never be touched or moved. This round, hollow ceramic cylinder was found with a Chinese tea set. The finder thought it was a stand for something in the kit, but it's so thin that it's pretty unstable with anything put on top of it. What is this minimalist ceramic piece? That little cylinder is actually a teapot, chachong. They are a common and charming accessory in traditional Chinese gongfu tea ceremonies. You don't use it as a stand or for drinking. Instead, during a tea session, it is a tradition to pour leftover or excess tea over the teapot for good luck and to nourish or season it over time. With repeated exposure to tea, the unglazed clay of the teapot will gradually absorb the tea's color and aroma, developing a beautiful patina. While many teapots are shaped like animals or mythical creatures, simple, minimalist geometric shapes like this cylinder are also common. It's a purely ritualistic and aesthetic part of the tea experience. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.